going to run through how to produce a jewellery box similar to this. So it's got a hinge on it and it's got finger joints. It's also got a slot for the base. So I'll run through that from the beginning, but you can see I've roughly put one side and another side. So there's obviously 4 sides and a top, and yeah, it looks a bit like this. So file new, I've got a custom board set up. It's in a RGB color mode. This is the width and height of our laser cutter that we have. So create, starting off with a rectangle with no fill and red for cutting and 0.001. I'm going to start with the top hand corner, and I'm going to dimension it at 125 width by 60 height, and I want 2 of those. I've got the first one at 0, 0, so copy and paste, and the second one I'll have right next to it, and so that should be X 125, Y 0, and the same dimensions. So just zooming in, this is my workspace. I'm also going to have my finger joint. I'm going to have it at the width of the material that I'm going to use is 6 mils. So if you use a different material, a different thickness, then you need to change that. And the height, I'm just going to have it at 15. And I'm going to align that at X. I'm going to go down, I'm going to have it at 0. I'm going to go down 6. And I've also got this top left reference point that's referring to that at 0 and 6. I'm going to copy, paste that again, and I'm going to have that copy, paste at a space, evenly spaced apart. So I've got that there, and so I'm just going to copy. I'm going to fill these in actually for now, and I've got that there and another one. And so they just align. If your view doesn't look like this, make sure you're in Essential Classic. That's a lot of questions that people have. So I'm going to select 1 and 2, shift, copy, paste, and I'm going to align that at 119 and 6. I'll just change that to, yeah, so that's 125 and 6, which is good. And then I'm going to copy, actually I'll move them. I'm going to move this to this side. So that should be lined up. That's at 125 and 0. Copy, paste. And so this should be correctly aligned. I'll just check that. So 250, beautiful, and Y0. So that's my finger joint. If I want to make it look like the laser cutter will do that, but what I can do is just select all and select shape builder tool, and just click and drag, click and drag, click in and click out, click in and out, and then what I'm left with is this. Oh, I need to delete the actual. So that's what the actual piece will look like. But the laser cutter will do that anyway. You know, you'll end up with just a line there, but that doesn't matter. So I'll just put that back where it was. So I've got my 2 sides, and they obviously need to be repeated. The next part, I'm just going to move this down 20. The next part is that hinge, which is somewhat difficult. I'm going to start with an ellipse, and yeah, my material is going to be, hold shift to keep it a circle, or you can put it in here. My material is going to be 6 mils in thickness, and I'm just going to make this 7, so it's got a bit of room to move around. So that's going to be my hinge, and I'm going to place that in there. What I might actually do is I might actually make this the top, and I'll place that in there. So I've got a reasonable amount of material either side of that. We'll go with that in there, and that means I can get going with my lid. So I'll just copy this into here so you can see what parts. So I've done the 2 sides, and I'm working on this hinge here. The hinge is actually flat in here, so the center of it, I'm going to put what I might do, I'll copy everything and I'll just flip it. So that's my top now, and the hinge will sit down from there, so that'll sit in there, and that'll mean it'll sit flush. I can make this, I can just draw a circle here if I want it to be a circle, and I can just make this a bit bigger. I'll just make this little part in here a bit bigger, just for space wise. I'm going to select this and shape builder tool and cut that there, and cut that there, so that'll sit and that'll be a bit bigger in there. So that is the side, and this is the front as well as the back. I can copy this, paste it, and make this the front. So the front's got a little cutout here, and let's just make that cutout. Rectangle tool. It needs to be, we'll make it 20 by 6 because that's the thickness of the material. So needs to be that thickness, and I can select both these shapes. I'll group this group and select both these shapes, and then I'll go by the top, and then I'll go center, and so that's a line there. Again, I can make that shape builder tool and make it the one, but it doesn't really matter. Something important to work out is that the actual top is going to sit in that part of your halving joint. So that is 113, and I need the other one at 113 as well. So 113. So I've got a square in there. Now the alignment of that, I need to put a little hinge on there. I can line this up. Put that at 0. That doesn't need to be at 0. That needs to be at the center, and I know this needs to go in 6 because I've taken, so that's actually the middle, that's between these two, that's sitting in the middle there. And then I need to make this stick out. So this might actually move over. I can move that over, but let's put a rectangle on here. So I just deselect that. Rectangle on here. And I'm just going to make it 6 by 6 because it needs to go, it needs to be the thickness obviously of 6 mils, and copy, paste, and that'll sit in there. So at the end of the day, you've got your top, you've got your top, which you can make 1. Shape builder tool, select everything, boom. And yep, so I'm just getting rid of that line. So that will sit on the top of it, and I can just need to fix this up. Release, and then I need to delete this one. There's a few of that circle, delete it again, delete. So I've got this one here, and I can just make sure that's lined up with my part, so that will sit. If I put that back at 6 again, I've made it, so it should sit at 0 now because I've made it the width that it needs to be. So yeah, that's going to sit in there, and that's also going to rotate. So I can rotate it 90 degrees. And just flip it as well. It should line up. So I want it to sit in there. And it should just sit along this edge. They should line up, so I can fix that a bit. It should fit, go all the way to that edge there. So that is going to work out in being our hinge for that. So that's the top, 2 sides, and that's it.